All right. Lesson two in fasting. That is what we're on right now, and we're going to jump right into it, right into glycogen depletion. But as we already know, amazing things happen when we stop eating for a period of time, right? Something remarkable happens inside the body, right? The body doesn't panic, it doesn't shut down. Instead, it switches energy systems, right? Um, our metabolism was designed to operate in cycles, times of eating, times without food. We need that rest. It's very important to have that rest, okay? So modern culture has removed the second half of that equation, which does not allow rest, right? There's no equalization there. Understanding what happens during fasting helps this process it helps you figure out that it's not extreme, right? It's part of our biological design, right? It's part of the way that God designed us. So we're gonna go right into glycogen. What happens? So with phase one, all right, phase one, which is the first 12 to 24 hours of caloric deprivation fasting. The first thing the body does is begin to store glucose, right? Or using stored glucose, sorry. Your liver, when there is excess glucose in your in your uh, in your blood, what will happen is your body will take that and store it as glycogen first. The liver will take it and do short-term energy storage reserves, right? Well, this glycogen, when you stop fasting, only lasts for about 24 hours, right? 12 to 24 hours. So during this phase, right, your blood sugar stabilizes, your insulin begins to fall, and the body starts prepping or preparing to shift fuel sources. Nothing coming in. Okay, we got to start thinking about what's going to happen next. This is why the first stage of fasting can feel uncomfortable for some people because your metabolism is transition. It's not failing, it's in transition, right? Think of it like switching a car from gasoline to a hybrid fuel system, right? There's a switching period. It's not just seamless, right? Not always, at least. Um, it can be, but it's a process. You really got to know what you're doing, feel your body out and everything, and fasting can be super easy, um, and be extremely enjoyable, right? So then we go into phase two, right? Phase two is fat burning ketosis. This is the really exciting part, right? Once glycogen stores become low, the body begins using long-term fuel reserves, fat. Fat stored in the body is broken down into fatty acid and ketones, right? Ketones become a powerful energy source for the brain, for the muscles, for the heart. This metabolic state is called ketosis, right? Interestingly, many people report clearer thinking, steady energy, less hunger, right? So this is like 24-hour to 36-hour range. You start to feel, and sometimes it takes a little longer. Sometimes you're detoxing some things and getting rid of some things that that you might know or not know that's in there. And so you may not hit that clear head stage just yet, right? But as your body transitions over to ketones, you actually get a lot clearer thinking, less hunger, and just more stable fuel source, right? This happens because fat metabolism provides a slower, more stable fuel source than sugar. Your body was designed to access this system. This system is the perfect system for your metabolism. Fat should be your number one clean calorie source for your body across the board. Hands down, it is the best. Every biological marker indicates that fat should be our main fuel source for our bodies. Phase three. Three, three, three. Which one are you? That three or this three? I'm all of the above. Hormonal shifts, right? Phase three is hormonal shifts. Fasting also changes several important hormones, right? Insulin drops. This is the biggest one, right? Insulin is the hormone that stores energy, but it also blocks energy usage, right? So if you go back to one of our herb talks, we talk about insulin pretty in depth. And what insulin does is when it rises, it stops fat from being used, which is a really horrible thing if you want to lose some weight. Um, so when you stop eating, insulin levels fall, the body stops storing fat, right? Stops taking all those lipids and glucose and everything in your blood and starts storing them. Doesn't it can't use them. Stored energy becomes available. Lower insulin is one of the major metabolic benefits of fasting. It really is. Um, Insulin can cause all sorts of different issues because of it ramping up, down, up, down, up, down. Those insulin spikes are destroying you from the inside out. That's why snacking is horrible. That's why stable fat sources and protein sources, so you have good, clean, stable energy and none of the spikes, is extremely important, right? Growth hormone increases. Another hormone that rises during fasting is growth hormone, right? Human growth hormone. This helps with protecting your muscles, promoting fat burning, support tissue repair. All right. So fasting, I equate fasting as just as important as anti-inflammatory herbs and everything else in my healing journey with my scar tissue and different surgeries and different things that I went through. I had 5 facial reconstructions, and fasting was super key in getting those tissues repaired quickly and efficiently. It works so well.